Hey, badass business owners, welcome back to the show. Today I want to talk about something that I think is often overlooked, and that is, what do you do when your business starts to slow down? Let's just say that you've been having a wonderful year, everything's been going great, but your spidey senses can tell you that your business is kind of slowing down. Unfortunately, a lot of people wait till it's come to a screeching halt or it's in serious dire needs before they listen to that spidey sense. I want you guys to be in tune to your spidey sense when your business seems to be slowing up a little bit more than normal. Now, there's some things that happen that normally cause our business to slow up. Sometimes you might have a business, for example, that is seasonal. So you know you're going to slow down when it starts to get cold or it starts to get hot, whatever the case may be for your particular business. And sometimes your business is going to slow down because maybe you have a bunch of winter visitors who leave town, and that's naturally when your business starts to change. So there's some things that you're used to. What you want to pay attention in that case is it doing it earlier than what it normally does? The other thing that happens sometimes in our business is it's not because some major event happens. It's not because all of a sudden we're having the worst weather we've ever had. It's not because we've got unusual rainstorms that don't happen or snow that came when it shouldn't have. Those are things that we can kind of see and we can say, okay, I understand what's going on. This will pass. This will go through. Obviously, no one saw, for example, coronavirus coming out last year and putting things to a scorching halt. Those are different. But what I'm talking about when it comes to your spidey senses is the fact that, when you're feeling that slowdown and you shouldn't, that everything else is working exactly pretty much what you think is the same way, but yet the business is slowing down. Those are the ones that you want to pay attention to and start looking for the signs going, something doesn't feel right. Because here's the thing, just like you should be in tune with your body, how sometimes you just know something's not right. Well, you need to feel that same way in your business. The problem is, I need you to feel it from deep inside and go data-driven versus just emotionally driven. Because when we make decisions in our business based off of pure emotion, we actually end up hurting ourselves because a lot of times we end up chasing the wrong rabbit. Okay. So what I want you to do is, if your business starts to slow down, what I want you to do is I want you to go through all of the possibilities before you do anything. Is it the weather? Look at the obvious things. Absolutely. But if you start feeling it slowing down for other reasons, I really need you to peel that back, because to me, that's a sign of something much bigger, something actually more dangerous in your business, because typically that happens because there's been a breakdown somewhere. Now, it could be a breakdown in the way you communicate to your potential customers. It could be the fact that maybe your website, for example, is broken and it no longer sends you the leads. It could be that your advertising that you're paying for is not getting in front of the right people any longer. For example, it could be getting in front of the wrong type of potential customer instead of the right one. The example I always use is, you can't sell a garage door repair to somebody with a carport kind of a thing. So you need to make sure that your advertising is getting in front of the right people. But one of the most dangerous things that could be happening, and this is the one I really want you to pay attention to, is your referral base is drying up. And what I mean by that is, you have little soldiers that are out there. You have these true fans that are out there. You have past clients that will tell, or customers that will tell everybody and their mother about you. And you also have other businesses. You've heard me talk about this a lot lately on the podcast. You have these other businesses that tend to refer you as well to their customers and clients. And what typically happens is, when a business starts to slow down, somewhere along that line is where the problem is. For example, you could have somebody that is rarely themselves use you, but they recommend you to everybody and their mother. And what might happen is, they might have found somebody else to recommend. And what happens is, it gradually starts to pull away. So it's kind of like a tree branch drying up. So what happens is, those leaves don't fall off right away, but they do eventually start to fall off on that branch that has died. And like I've said before, is that you want to find partners, strategic partners that you can work with that can continue to supply you those leads, those customers as they work. So sometimes, like I said, it's a past customer, or it's another business owner. And what happens is when those ones start to dry up, they take so long to happen that what ends up happening is you die a slow death. And by the time you actually realize it happened, you've lost a lot of that business. And unfortunately, by the time you discover it, sometimes those relationships are beyond repair. Now, you're probably wondering what probably causes this. Well, it's usually for a couple different reasons, but the main one that tends to happen is the fact that at some point they didn't feel comfortable referring your business. So maybe someone new came into their life and gave them even better service and they want to continue to use them. Could be somebody wined and dined them and got them to start using their business. And next thing you know, they started using it. You got to remember, there's only a handful of people that are extremely, extremely loyal people. Most people are loyal, but they can be, I don't want to say bought, but they can be moved. And here's the thing. If your service has changed at all, even just a little bit, and they're starting to hear back that hey, yeah, you know what? So-and-so's customer service has kind of come down a little bit. You know what? So-and-so's installs have kind of gone down a little bit. If they start getting whiff of that, guess what's going to happen? They're going to start looking elsewhere because it's their name that they put on the table when they recommend you. So if for any reason they feel they can't recommend you, or they started having their family or friends or neighbors or whoever they've been referring you to start coming back going, yeah, you know what? I get why you like them, but it was all right. Or it was okay. I don't know why you're bragging on them. They weren't that great, kind of a thing. If they start hearing that kind of stuff, they're going to start drying up those referrals that they send you. And like I said, it's a slow process typically. If somebody was just to drop you really quickly and you were to feel those effects right away, then yeah, you could react to it much quicker. But here's the thing. You also would react with emotion saying they're full of crap. I'm the same person I was yesterday. Yeah, but when it happens really slowly like this, what typically happens is you cut a corner here, you cut a corner there. You replace one of your best people with somebody who's maybe not as good. Not that they can't be, but right now, today, they're not that person. So it's going to take a while for you to be able to go down that path. The whole purpose of this particular episode is I want you to start tuning into your Spidey sense. If something is changing in your business and something you're just feeling your customers kind of like not come in at the same pace, I want you to slow down. I want you to sit down in a quiet space, and I want you just to grab on that piece of paper, just start brainstorming all of the different ways that you get your customers and clients. And I want you to think of all the people that have influence on your business. And if the very first thing you throw out there that the reason your business is dropping is because of the weather or people leaving, go ahead, write it down, get it out of your system. But I don't want you to stop there. I really want you to go back and say, you know what? Maybe now is a good time to go back and strengthen up those top 10, top 15 relationships I have with people. Even if it's not coming from them, you want to prevent that. So it might be a good time to go back and reconnect and see if there's anything you can do for them. If they've heard any feedback, say, look, you know what? I don't want to just hear the good. I mean, if you're hearing anything, I need to be able to, I can't fix what I don't know. So it's really important that you're always giving me critical feedback just as much as positive feedback. So when you're feeling that business thing, I want you to write all that down. I want you to go back and touch bases with those people, okay? I don't want you to wake up one day and you've lost so much of your business, it's going to take you forever to get back out of that hole. And I watch people do this to where they're calling me because their business has gone down or they're struggling right now, and there's no logical sense as to what it is. And really, it's peace. It's a little bit here, it's a little bit here, it's a little bit here. And now you're playing whack-a-mole because you don't know which one to go towards first. And the common thread that they all have has to be these relationships, or where somewhere along the line something's gone wrong. Now, don't forget, you want to look at the big things. You want to make sure your business page online on the web, your Google page and your Bing page are still looking good, that they're still got the right hours, they still got the right contact information. You want to test those contact information. You want to make sure emails go to you from anywhere you have your email at, that your contact page works, goes back to you, your phone numbers are correct. You definitely want to look at all of those no-brainer things, and you definitely want to check those boxes. But I also want to make sure that you're looking back at anywhere else that you get your referrals from. Look at your advertising. Are they going to the right ways? Are they publishing them the same way they used to? Did a batch even go out? Sometimes, I had one time where I was doing one of those EDDMs and it was supposed to go out, and I knew somebody in the community it was supposed to go to, and they never got it. Turned out that the third party never sent it. So even though they sent me the copy that I get, because you can have one sent to you automatically, even though I got mine, the community didn't get what it is that I had sent, and I had to work backwards through all of that. So just don't ever trust everything, but you don't want to react emotionally, okay? I don't want you to just go crazy and just say, oh, it's got to be this. No, get your paper, write down all the ways that you get business, and start going through and checking boxes. And if you think that those relationships have been hurt in any way, you need to go mend them now before it gets too bad. If you find out that one of your biggest people is now referring someone else, you need to get in there and find out why. Not accusatory and not attacking them, but just say, hey, you know what? We've had a valuable relationship for all of these years. I just want to know how I can make that better and what might have happened, because I can't fix what I don't know. Same thing I said earlier, okay? Because you need to understand why they felt that they had to go somewhere else. And don't be surprised if they don't want to tell you and they're like, yeah, you haven't done anything wrong. It could be, and this is the hard part, it could be that you were their only option for a long time, and now they found somebody who really hits what it is that they're looking for. In which case, you have to peel that back and find out, what is that person doing really well that you could look and emulate and find a way, how can you top that? So you really have to do this in a non-confrontational way, and really from a truth-seeking mission, if you will, to find out what's going on. All right, well, I'm rattling, and I know I am, but I just want to make sure that I hit those of you right now that are struggling from this a little bit, because I seem to be taking a few phone calls and some people reaching out to me on email asking me about some of this, and I just wanted to kind of throw this out there because I think this is a good place for you to start. Is it 100% what's wrong? No, but you need to start peeling it back and finding out what could be causing this, and you need to do it from not from an emotional standpoint, but from a very logical process and thought process as you go through it. Because remember, you can't correct and you can't pivot your business if you don't know what the true cause of it is. So look for the most obvious things, but also start looking for the non-obvious things and see if you can peel back and find out what's going on, because then you can put a plan in place that can help counteract that. And just know that you'd rather catch it early before those leaves fall off the tree, before you have a barren branch and you're having to start from scratch and grow a whole new one. All right. So with that, I am out of here, and get out there and be the badass business owner that you are. Hey, badass business owner, before you go, as you know, I'm a huge believer in you knowing your business numbers. After all, it isn't about how much you sell. It's about what you keep. And the best way to grow your profits is to start diving in and understanding those business numbers. To help you on this journey, I have created the Know Your Business Numbers course. We will walk through how to read your profit and loss statement. You'll learn the key calculations that'll help ensure that you're making a healthy profit on all of your products or services, plus a ton of other good stuff that'll help you learn how to use those business numbers to create even more sales and profits. Just check out the link below in the show notes or visit knowyourbusinessnumberscourse.com. So if you're ready to increase those profits, it's time you start diving into your business numbers.